Politics is dead. I declare it. Politics is dead. In 1882, philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche declared to the world that God is dead. For a century, this one declaration has been interpreted and reinterpreted multiple times to apply to the current era. In that era, when Nietzsche was alive, he was talking about how the Enlightenment age and scientific advancements are leading to a disregard of divine morality. Meaning, it is leading to a crisis where life suddenly appears devoid of purpose, meaning, and a larger objective. People are lost. That's why God is dead. Think about it, it's kind of fascinating how organized religion has made an epic comeback in public discourse since the advent of social media and the internet. But it has returned in a bizarre format, a worse format. It has returned as a tool to brainwash the masses and achieve a political objective. I'm using quotes because not really political. We'll come to that. Religion is no more a way for a person to find peace, meaning, or purpose. The objective of religion has been boiled down to just getting a majority public mandate, then gaining power and control over a population. It has become a cynical game of garnering votes and doing everything possible to garner those votes. Essentially, to fight elections and win them. Also, side note, think about why Chanda Chori is happening in Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. Literally, people are inside Ram Mandir are actually stealing money. If they had some sort of faith, they wouldn't be doing it, right? I mean, like, religion is supposed to tell you to be a well, kind, nice, morally upright human being at a very basic level. But no, the thing is, Ram Mandir was a cynical vote garnering project 30 years ago, and in 2026, it still remains one, and it has clearly nothing to do with religion and faith, and it was an electoral project, and it remains like that. So, I do declare in 2026 India, politics is firmly and solidly dead. It is dead. RIP. We have now become a dead politics society. In 1989, there was this amazeballs movie called The Dead Poets Society. Okay, plot TLDR. The story is set in this school called Welton Academy. It's an elite school that rigidly imposes a way of life which revolves around parampara, pratishtha, discipline, tradition, honor, and the need to excel to reach the top. An English professor comes along, played by Robin Williams. He is named John Keating. Very appropriate name, you will see. He starts going a bit off book and starts experimenting with teaching methods. He encourages the students to find their own voice and start looking at the world from a different perspective. Some students get inspired and start this secret society called the Dead Poet Society. Video title. So in this club, they go to a cave and read poetry by great poets like Lord Byron, Henry Thoreau, and other classic revolutionary poets or just poets, romantic poets. They end up challenging the ways of Welton Academy by becoming thinking people. Okay, side note. I know this sounds a lot like Mohabbatein because it was based on Dead Poet Society and butchered by Bollywood and turned into a cringe romance thing. I have seen it like 100 times, that movie, because why not? I mean, sure. SRK playing the violin. Parampara, Pratishtha. Oh. Anyway, so I saw this movie again last week. Dead Poet Society, not Mohabbatein. I should see Mohabbatein. I saw Dead Poet Society last week and have been thinking about what it is trying to tell us. I noticed a lot of things this time which I didn't notice earlier. My primary takeaway from it was about rebellion and breaking out of tradition. While the world conspires to make you conform, follow parampara, pratishtha, tradition, and kills your individual voice, it becomes imperative for us to rebel and break out of this, well, shit show. I think there is a larger lesson to be learnt here for 2026 India as well. We need to seriously and consciously realize that today's level of imposed social conformity has led to a solid death of politics in our society. Uh, yeah. Again, I do declare politics is dead. But politics is what exactly? You are a good question. You see, humans are social animals. We are codependent on each other to get shit done. Unless we cooperate, find a middle ground, set a goal, and do shit together, we cannot survive as a species. Politics is what helps us do that. It's basically as simple as that. For politics to happen, there needs to be a forum to share ideas, have dialogues, deliberate, discuss, plan, and then organize to achieve a certain goal. Those forums in current day and age are our parliaments and assemblies. One of the forums, the main ones. We send our elected representatives to these forums so that they can do politics on our behalf. Their job is to do politics. Their job is to listen to people, help reach a consensus, a middle ground, then pressure the government and authorities to get shit done. In very simple words. What I just explained in theory makes sense. Now, elections are supposed to be a process which allows us to pick the most competent representatives who can do this job. But what happens when politics is taken out of the whole thing and the complete utter focus becomes just winning elections, just vote gathering? Politics is out. बस elections कर रहा है. Worse, what happens when saying something on the lines of I do politics leads to reactions like,
Oh my god, you must be evil. You are power hungry. That is bad. I thought I'm an apolitical person and I keep away from people like you.
story of my life. Story time. The other day, I was at a gathering of mostly job going folks in their mid 30s. A group of nice, polite strangers who had gathered for an afternoon chill, drinky session in Noida. Everyone was introducing themselves, what they do, and chit chatting about their work. When they asked me, I said, Hello, I am an independent politician. The room went quiet. I think I broke their brains a little bit. They probably thought I was some crazy fellow who is trolling them. But I explained to them that I wasn't. I was being perfectly serious. I said, I'm not kidding. I mean it. And I said it with as much sincerity that I could muster. The next inevitable question that came was,
So, what do you do exactly? Fight elections?
I was like, fighting an election is a byproduct of what I do. I do politics so that I can figure out how to solve problems that people in my constituency have, right? Again, silence. I don't think they were able to understand what I was saying, or maybe they were not able to process this very obvious statement, which seems very obvious to me, or maybe to you who is watching this. I kind of blame our civics teacher for that silence that I experienced. Are all of our collective civics teachers? Because there were no follow up questions after that, except one lady who then proudly and loudly said,
Oh, okay. I don't understand any of this because I am too apolitical, Baba. I keep away from office politics also.
and I noticed something. There was like a tinge of disgust in her voice and on her face while she was looking at me. I, I, I realized it's not her fault because politics is dead. It is very solidly dead. It has been left rotting like a roadkill beside a soulless 8-lane expressway, which displaced some tribals while being built, cut down forests, cut through an animal migration trail, filled the pockets of some contractor with fat bribes, and led to unaccountable donations for the party in power. That's what politics is. With Project Omelette, I have now set off on a personal quest to reclaim politics for myself. I don't know about you. And everyone associated with me and this project. Reclaim politics. I want people around me to proudly say that they are doing politics. And I don't mean just people who are contesting elections or want to participate in an electoral arena, but the good folks who care, are kind, they want shit done, and want to hold the government accountable and wish to live in a kinder, nicer, and better society in general. A better India. So, my question to you is, are you one of those people who will go to a party and declare, oh, hello, what do I do? Oh, what do? I do politics. Dun dun dun. Mandirilal is asking, how do you talk in a party? Oh, by the way, there are a bunch of people watching me record this right now, and they're doing like a live commentary and directing me. Fun, become member. In Dead Poets Society, our friendly neighborhood literature teacher, John Keating, manages to do something profound. He turns a group of privileged young men who are forced to live their lives through their parents' ambitions into critically thinking, intelligent young men with a voice of their own. Not young men who dance on religious structures. Just saying. So Keating encourages these young men to have a sense of rebellion against the authority. Okay, small note, if you haven't seen this movie and intend to watch it, then the next part is going to be a spoiler. I mean, it's a movie that was made in 1989, but I'm being nice. I'm warning you before I talk about this extremely emotional climax that happens, which made me cry so many times every time I watch it. Warning, spoiler alert. Anyway, after Keating unleashes his experimental ways of teaching on the boys of Welton Academy, the authorities who run the institution are kind of upset that he isn't sticking to the curriculum and has gone off book, and he does drills in the school while playing football. He makes people recite poetry and stuff. Insane movie. Very, very much love. After that, what happens is that there is a unsavory, unfortunate occurrence on the premises of the school, and they completely blame Keating for it, and they fire him. Sad. So there's this last scene where Keating is going to collect his belongings to the classroom, which he used to teach in. Stern substitute teacher is now instructing the boys about what poetry is. So this stern uncle, he's basically making them read theory from a boring ass tome, which is precisely what Keating never asked them to do. Keating had previously taught the boys to tear up the pages containing the formulaic rigid views of literature and to come up with interpretations of their own. And he's like, the poetry should drip from your tongue. It shouldn't be like it's all about feelings. It's not about the theory. So in this last scene, after Keating goes and collects his stuff, he is seen sadly and quietly leaving the class while his substitute fellow is doing his dictatorial thing. A kid named Todd catches Keating's eyes, stands on the desk, gets up on the desk, and loudly says, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." There is stunned silence. The substitute uncle loses his shit. Others are seeing what is happening. They hesitate a bit. And then, one by one, they start standing on their desks, look at Keating, who is leaving, and with admiration in their eyes, and as he leaves, they're all like, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." Soon, half the class stands on their desk and says, "Oh, Captain, my Captain," to our friendly neighborhood professor. The professor, R.I.P. Robin Williams, what a beautiful performance by him. He just looks at them and smiles and says, "Thank you, boys." And scene. मुझे ना ये think करके ही थोड़ा emo हो रहा है मैं. Get back. Control your emotions. You must shoot this video. Okay, forgive me, but I have to do a little bit of segue here and throw in some poetry lore. This line, "Oh Captain, my Captain," comes from an actual poem written by Walt Whitman in 1865 after the assassination of US President Abraham Lincoln. It goes like this. Poetry reading with music. "Oh Captain, my Captain. Oh Captain, my Captain. Our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting. While follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But oh heart, oh bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. Oh Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, For you, the flag is flung. For you, the bugle trills. For you, bouquet and ribbon wreaths. For you, the shores are crowding. For you, they call the swaying masses, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head. It is some dream that on the deck you have fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. The captain is anchored safe and sound. Its voyage closed and be done. From fearful trip, the victor ship comes in with object one. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells. But I, with mournful tread, walk the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold, and dead. Goosebumps, I know. In case you missed the deeper undercurrents in that poem, Walt Whitman wanted to present Lincoln as the captain of the ship, which is called America. This is an often used metaphor, even in philosophy, called the ship of state, where a leader, Lincoln in this case, leads the ship on a voyage and achieves some victories. In this case, it was the American Civil War. So after they achieve this voyage and the ship is coming back, the crowd is waiting for the ship's arrival back home. That is when, right at as it is arriving on the shore, the captain is shot dead and lies bleeding on the deck. It's like this bittersweet moment that this poem is trying to describe, where the people are rejoicing because the voyage is complete and something big has been achieved, but the poet is sad because the captain who made it happen is now dead and bleeding on the deck. Just like politics. All of this fascinating stuff. Thought I should give you some poetry lore because why not? Make of it what you will. But now let's come back to the final scene of Dead Poets Society. So, in this final scene, I noticed something this time. When I watched the scene, half the class is standing on the desk, going, "Oh, captain, my captain." But the other half is not. Yeah, they're just sitting there, buried in their books, not engaging, and waiting for this absolutely awkward moment where students are standing on desks and going, "Oh, captain, my captain." They just want it to end. They're like,
Oh my god, where am I? What am I doing? Please stop. This is so embarrassing.
So the authority substitute teacher is also seen going around and screaming at these boys to sit back down on their desks or risk getting kicked out of the academy. Welton Academy. After you see this scene, one has to ask, why don't the others stand on the desks and say, "Oh, captain, my captain"? Why doesn't the entire class get up on the desk to challenge dictator uncle? Is it fear of consequences? A lack of courage? Or just pure disinterest because the students in our class don't really see a point in challenging Adarniya Honorable Substitute Teacher Authority Ji? I think it's the latter. Here's the scene unfolding in front of us if we have to recreate this in 2026 India. Most of the class is sitting down while one or two people sometimes dare to stand on the desk and go, "Oh, captain, my captain," looking at some leader. The authority looks at these rebels with really bored eyes, activates a button under their desk, and then a swarm of national security officers come in. They grab those people standing on the desks, swat them down, kick them out of the class, rusticate them from the academy, take away their citizenship. Oh, sorry, Welton Academy admission or whatever academy you are on. The dictator uncle continues his boring ass class while the class pretends like nothing happened and they didn't see anything.
What? Who? Someone stood on the desk? अच्छा ये भी हुआ क्या? Phone, please hypnotize me. Too awkward for me to deal with this guy standing on desk.
So their heads are buried in their phones or in this case tomes or Netflix, surviving in the best way that they know, the other students, by being quiet and subservient to the authority. They choose to remain apolitical. No, not just that. They actually proudly declare to the world
कि हाँ, I don't don't do this. I to look at my phone. I'm apolitical. I to look at Netflix. Yeah. Tinder date hai mera aaj. Apolitical. I will describe myself as apolitical so that I get more Tinder dates.
What? What? Meanwhile, outside the classroom, the world is burning, people are dying, icebergs are melting, trees are getting cut down all the time, expressways are being built, children are getting bombed, and social media slot machine keeps going ding 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 ding. Dopamine. ले आओ डोपामीन, खा डोपामीन, घुसा दे डोपामीन खुद में, सब जगह डोपामीन ही डोपामीन. In Dead Poets Society, poetry written by dead poets binds these boys of Welton Academy together. It helps them organize and develop courage to challenge authority. In 2026 India, I think the time has come for us to reclaim politics for the same reason. Treat politics like poetry. Because why not? Why not, I say? Because you see, a dead politics society is just a fucking dead society. So please stop.